and this could affect all of you very soon. As usual, radical or untested or uncommon sense policies tend to start in either New York City or Los Angeles. And here we go again. This is a new law that took effect last week, I believe. The city of New York passed a law that required businesses that are hiring to post the minimum and maximum salary ranges for jobs. Now, advocates for this say this is long overdue. They cheered this. I reported on this a couple of months ago, said this was coming. I said I thought that it was going to be a train wreck. And I need an I told you so button, because I told you. But advocates for this say this is long overdue. This is fair for the worker. Now, I'm of the people, by the people, for the people, man of the people. And I'm telling you it's bad for you, and I'll explain in just a moment. But how's it going? All right. Well, so we've seen crazy ranges. New Yorkers began calling out that some companies were posting extremely broad ranges, as 50,000 to 145,000 for a reporter, 125,000 to 211,000 for a senior technical writer. And this is my favorite, Citigroup. We're talking about a massive public company, folks. Citigroup listed several jobs with a range of, you ready for this? $0 to $2 million. Methinks Citigroup doesn't really care about New York City's laws, and some poor schlup had to put something in there and literally put no effort at all. $0. That's what I do. That's the range I put in, Amanda, when I go look for used cars for my teenage son. I go $0 to $5,000 because I want everything in between. But that's not what you put down for a job listing. They don't care. A Citigroup representative told The Gothamist it has since updated its ranges and that the shockingly wide range was an error caused by a computer glitch. That's BS. I don't believe that for a second. The posting gaffe highlights the numerous ways companies can still find ways around complying. Duh, you think? Now, this is for you, the people. You need to understand this. It is very commonplace for a business to find a target budget range, a target budget, okay, because they have to submit the stuff. Ramsey Solutions does it as well. They think, well, we may hire X amount of positions over the next year, and for each position, they select a budget number, a line item number, and maybe even a range in the line item for the position they're going to hire. It's very normal. But here's what you need to know, folks. What you'll see is that whatever is posted could be 20% lower or high. They could have margin on each side, 20% each way is what I'm saying. So let me re-say that. So if they post a position for 50,000, they may have a wiggle room, a bit of wiggle room, 20% higher than the 50 or 20% lower, and they're going to try to figure out which way they can go. So they're not showing you the 50,000. That's their budget. They're going, okay, I'm going to budget 50. I may go 20% higher. I'd like to get somewhere between 20% lower, 10% lower, whatever. And so that's why they don't like to post the number, because in their mind, they're going to see what they can get. It's good old-fashioned negotiation. They're also playing the market. This is normal. So I tell you that to say, because I get a decent amount of calls and questions on this issue. Ken, what do I say for my salary? And I've always told you, you got to take your number. See, just like those companies budget a number for hiring, you've got to say, I'm not willing to leave and do everything that's involved with leaving a job unless I get this number. And you got to stick to your guns. Well, so now the experts are saying, in response to these type of laws, some businesses may stop advertising jobs outright and rely on other means of recruiting and hiring. And I'm going to tell you that that's absolutely what businesses are going to do. If state legislatures, if the federal government gets involved in this kind of nonsense, companies are going to go, okay, there's a way around this. We're not going to do something that is a disadvantage for us. It's stupid. Let me tell you who's going to win with laws like this. Recruiting firms. Because now businesses are going to go, all right, forget it. Forget posting a job. I'm not going to post anything. I'm going to go to a recruiting firm and go, look, I need to hire 10 of these over the next year. Go find me these. That's what's going to happen. I mean, this is where the government gets involved and they think they can fix everything, and all they end up doing is making everything more difficult for everybody else. It drives me bananas. Now, I want to comment for a second. That's enough of the article. I want to make sure you understand, and again, you don't have to agree with me, but just listen as to why it's a bad idea for all this pay transparency, okay? Because this is just one part of the onion, this idea of forcing companies to post salary ranges for jobs. The other half of this is the same advocates for this kind of stuff are the same people who will say, everybody should know what everybody makes. We should all know. Now, let me just give you some anecdotal evidence from people who've called this show. And I would guess I've probably taken 20 or 30 of these calls over the last several years. And here's how it goes. Hey, Ken, I need your help. I accidentally found out how much my coworker makes. All right, I'm giving you the short version. So they've accidentally or without intentionally snooping around is what I'm being told. They find out that a coworker makes more money than they do. Coworker may have the same amount of experience, or the one that really sticks in their craws where it's a younger person who's younger and has less experience, and they come in, they're newer in the position, and they're younger, blah, 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 and they make more money. Well, that's a reality right now in our job economy, as companies are doing everything they can to hire people, and so that's what we've seen. We've seen salaries go up tremendously. All right, so people call, Ken, what do I do? And I tell them, there's not much you can do. The cat's out of the bag, baby. Like, the bad stuff has already happened. You resent this person. They did nothing wrong. You resent your boss. They may or may not have done something wrong. But when I know what you make and you know what I make, comparison is unstoppable. You can't stop it. In those situations, I said, let me tell you this, you're going to have to decide to get over it. You're going to have to go, you know what? There's no way that I'm going to remove the suck, but I can get over it. And it's always going to be there. Every time I see this person, I see the discrepancy in our paychecks. This is the reality. And I challenge any of you who think that pay transparency is a good thing to come up with the solution for what I just gave you. What would you say to this person? Because it sucks. You start comparing yourself to somebody else. You start feeling like you're devalued. You start reading stuff into your boss's mind, which isn't fair, and it isn't good for you, and it's not good for them. It is the worst of our humanness. Comparison is a cancer in any area. It's not good for 13, 14-year-old girls on Instagram to be comparing their likes to some other girl's likes. I mean, I deal with this crap. You know, what this person said about my clothes, they didn't say about their clothes. I mean, what? Comparison's a cancer for teens. Comparison's a cancer for adults. And you start taking the most emotionally charged thing we've got, what we make, and what we can do with that, and you add that to the mix, it's a disaster.